Hello everyone, this is Andrew from Crown Academy of English. Today's lesson is about stative verbs compared to dynamic verbs. So there are two types of verbs in English. Number one, dynamic verbs, and they describe an action or event. They have a simple form and a continuous form. Example: Mark plays football every Sunday. So here we have the present simple. David is watching TV. And here we have the present continuous, the ing form. Okay, continuous form. So I hope you can see here that dynamic verbs, they describe an action, plays, watching. And the second type of verb is stative verbs. And they describe a state or condition. So they are not actions. And be careful, they only have a simple form. They do not have a continuous form. Example: I love chocolate. So this is describing a state, or in fact this is an opinion or an emotion, and this is correct. However, this is wrong. I am loving chocolate. No, because this is a stative verb, so we do not have a continuous form. Okay, so this is quite a big mistake in English. And this is why it is very important to learn which verbs are stative verbs and which verbs are dynamic verbs. These are also called action verbs. Okay, and there are also some verbs which are both. Okay, so some verbs are only dynamic, some verbs are only stative verbs, and some verbs are both, and the meaning changes. And we will look at that later in this video. But let's continue looking at stative verbs in detail. So certain stative verbs describe thoughts and opinions. And here they are: agree, believe, doubt, feel, guess, imagine, know, mean, recognize, remember, suspect, think, understand, misunderstand, suppose, and mind. Example: I feel that I'm going to fail the exam. This is correct. This is a stative verb. And since it is a stative verb, we cannot use the continuous form. So this is wrong. We cannot say, I am feeling that I am going to fail the exam. This is a big mistake. Example: I'm sorry, I don't remember you. So here we have the negative form of the present simple of remember. But this is wrong. We cannot use the continuous form. He believes in God. So this is correct. Here we have the present simple. But this is wrong. We cannot say this. Okay? Now another category is feelings and emotions. Dislike, hate, like, love, prefer, want, and wish. I like my job. So here we have the stative verb like in the present simple, but this is wrong. We cannot say I am liking my job. Do you want a cupcake? So here we have the question form in the present simple. Do you want? But we cannot use the ing form. Are you wanting? No, this is a mistake. I hate tea. I prefer coffee. So this is fine. We're using two stative verbs here. But this is wrong because we cannot have stative verbs in the continuous form. Senses and perception. Appear, hear, look, see, seem, smell, and taste. Mark appears sad. And this is wrong. Toby seems tired today. Toby is seeming tired today. So this is wrong and this is correct. Okay, so it's perception. Perception. That flower smells nice is correct. So here we are using one of the senses and we're describing the flower, the smell of the flower. But this is wrong. That flower is smelling nice. No, that's not correct. Okay? Possession. Belong, have, own, and possess. That computer belongs to me. So we have the verb belong in the present simple, and this is a stative verb describing possession. And this is wrong. Jane has a dog and a cat. So using the verb have for possession. But Jane is having a dog and a cat. This is wrong. Okay, so this is incorrect. Who owns that motorcycle? So here we are using the question form of the verb own in the present simple. And this is correct. But this is wrong. Measurements. So we have two verbs here, measure and weigh. Her waist measures 74 centimeters. So her waist, this is her waist around here, just above the top of the trousers. Her waist measures 74 centimeters in the present simple. But this is wrong. This elephant weighs 6,000 kilograms. This is correct in the present simple form because weigh is a stative verb. But again, this is wrong. Okay? Now, remember at the beginning I said some verbs can be both. So this is the advanced part of the lesson. And this is where many students get confused and make mistakes. So it's important to understand that some verbs can be stative or dynamic. And it depends on the context. And very important, the meaning of the verb is different for each use. So for each verb, when we use it as a stative verb and a dynamic verb, the meaning of the verb changes. Okay? I'm going to give you a very, very common example. The verb think. Okay, the verb think. So here we have a stative verb, the think as a stative verb. She thinks that Paris is a beautiful city. This is a sentence. She thinks Paris is a beautiful city. Here, think is stative. Okay, it's stative. And the meaning of think is we are giving an opinion. In fact, we're giving an opinion. It's a similar meaning to believe. She believes that Paris is a beautiful city. She's giving her opinion. Therefore, this is stative. So if we use this meaning, then we cannot say she is thinking that Paris is a beautiful city. That would be wrong. Why? Because the ing we do not have an ing form for a stative verb. However, think is also a dynamic verb with a different meaning. And here is the different meaning of think as a dynamic verb. She is thinking about Paris. She is thinking about Paris. This is correct. This is fine. And if you study this, you realize that this is in fact an action. She is thinking. It is an action. It's a dynamic verb. She is processing her thoughts. She is imagining. She is imagining Paris. She's thinking about Paris. This is now a dynamic verb. It is an action. Okay, so therefore the ing form is allowed. It is okay. But you have to realize that these two meanings are different. Here we're talking about an opinion, and here it is about imagining. Okay? Now let's look at some more examples of verbs that are both stative and dynamic. We have the verb have. So as a stative verb, we use it for possession. I have a banana. Okay, I possess a banana. I own a banana. We've already seen that we cannot say I am having a banana. That is wrong when we are talking about possession. We can only have the simple form. However, there is also a dynamic use of the verb have. I am having a banana for lunch. So here the verb have is dynamic, but the meaning is different. The meaning is has now changed. The meaning here in this context, it means eat. I am eating a banana for lunch. So since it is an action, we are allowed to use the ing form. We can use the continuous form. Okay? Before I continue, please give the video a like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so number 3, the verb see. I see what you mean. And in this context, see in fact means understand. I understand what you mean. And that is a state. Okay, so it only has the present simple form. I am seeing my boss tomorrow. And now the meaning of see has changed. In this context, see, it means meet. So this means I am meeting my boss tomorrow. Okay, so now we are allowed to use the continuous form. Look. Your cat looks cute. And this, in this sentence, look, in fact, it means appear. It is stative. Okay, so it's similar meaning to your cat appears cute. Okay, so this is stative and we only have the present simple form. However, your cat is looking out of, the cat is looking out of the window. And of course, this is an action. So it is a dynamic verb. Number 5, smell. The food smells nice. So in this context, it is stative, and it's describing our perception of the food. We cannot say, if we are using this meaning, we cannot say the food is smelling nice. No, that is wrong. We cannot use the ing form with a stative verb. However, smell is also an action. And it's an action when the subject of the verb is a person. Okay, here the subject is a thing, the thing, and there it is stative. But when it is a person, this becomes an action. He is smelling the food. Okay, so now it is a dynamic verb, and the meaning is, well, we're talking about the action of smelling with your nose. Number 6, taste. And this is very similar to smell. It's the same principle. The soup tastes delicious. Okay, so now the subject is a thing, and so this is stative. We are describing the perception of the soup. But if the subject of taste is a person, then it now becomes a dynamic verb. This is now an action. The chef is tasting the soup, and it's the action of tasting with your mouth. Okay, so there we are, that's the end. If you are preparing for the IELTS exam, click here for information about our course. And here are some other videos I recommend you watch.